Welcome to Focus Study Room. So today we will be doing certain questions from the chapter of this place of supply that we had done yesterday. So we'll quickly discuss few questions and I shall give you some time of 2 to 5 minutes for you to solve the question and go through it. So question number 1. Determine the place of supply in the following independent cases. Mr. Shahukar, New Delhi, boards the New Delhi Kota train at New Delhi. Mr. Shahukar sells the goods taken on board by him at New Delhi in the train at Jaipur during the journey. So in this question, what they are saying that Mr. Shahukar is a person of New Delhi and he is boarding New Delhi Kota train from New Delhi and he is taking certain goods with him to sell. Now these goods he is taking from New Delhi. So what will be the place of supply? Take 2 minutes and kindly tell me your answers. You can also comment your answers in the comments below and you can also join the WhatsApp group and there also you can share your answers. You will find the link for the same in the description box. So see for these what we have section 10(1)(e) it says that the place of supply of goods supplied on board a conveyance like aircraft, train, vessel or a motor vehicle is the location where such goods have been taken on board. So in this case the place of supply of goods will be New Delhi wherein this Mr. Shahukar has taken those goods on board. Okay, and it is not Jaipur wherein these goods are actually sold. Now let's move to the next question. Third one, Mr. Atmaram, a manager in a bank, is transferred from Bareilly, UP to Bhopal, MP. Mr. Atmaram's family is stationed in Kanpur, UP. He hires Carriers of Lucknow, UP, registered in UP, to transport his household goods from Kanpur to Bhopal. So see here what do we have? We have movements of goods, right? The goods are being transported. Okay, take 2 minutes and please prepare answer for this. Okay, so for these question, it is as per our section 12(8) which says the supply of services by way of transportation of goods, including by mail. Remember, though this is transportation of goods, but it is service by way of transportation of goods. Okay, so this will not be covered by our goods sections. It is covered by services sections. So transportation of goods including by mail or courier provided to an unregistered person is the location at which such goods are handed over for their transportation. So in this case the recipient Atmaram is an unregistered person and the place of supply is the location where these goods are handed to Gokul carriers for their transportation. So see, they are handed to Gokul carriers from Kanpur, UP. So your place of supply in this case will be Kanpur, UP. Okay. Now, okay. Question number 3, second part. Mizu Machine Limited, registered in the state of Andhra Pradesh, supplied a machinery to KN Wind Farms Limited, registered in the state of Karnataka. However, this machinery was assembled and installed at the windmill of KN Wind Farms Limited, which was located in the state of Tamil Nadu. So here we have Mizu Machine Limited, okay, that is registered in your state of Andhra Pradesh. They are supplying a machinery to KN Wind Farms, which is registered in the state of Karnataka. Now, this machinery that needs to be assembled and installed at the windmill of KN Wind Farms. So we are and these wind farms is located in the state of Tamil Nadu. So please write this answer for this and let me know in the comments or in the WhatsApp group. Okay. So see, wherever any machinery is being assembled or installed, then the place of supply in that case is the place where such machinery is assembled or installed. So let's check the answer. Section 10(1)(d) of the IGST Act 2017 provides that if the supply involves goods which are to be installed or assembled at site, the place of supply is the place of such installation or assembly. Thus, the place of supply is the site of assembly of the machinery, that is Tamil Nadu. Next, let us take question 4, second part. Vinci Private Limited of New Delhi has leased its machine costing 8 lakh rupees to Misty Private Limited, Noida, UP for production of goods on a monthly rent of 35,000. After 12 months, Misty Private Limited requested Vinci Private Limited to sell the machine to it for 5 lakh rupees, which is agreed to be bought by Vinci Private Limited. Okay, so this is a case of lease and buyback. So at the end of the term, what they are doing is they are asking to sell the machine, and this Vinci Private Limited is agreeing to sell the machine. So in this case, what will be the supply of place of supply? Please take your time and comment the answers in the comments below, or you can tell us your answers in the WhatsApp group. It's also fine if you are solving on your own. Just take 2 minutes and write the answers in your notebooks and check once we are discussing it. Okay. So see, this is a case of lease of machine. So the machine is not moving anywhere, okay? It is being sold from the place where it is. So see the answer. If the supply does not involve movement of goods, the place of supply is the location of the goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. In this case, there will be no movement of goods and the same will be sold on as is where is basis. Thus, the location of machine at the time of such sale will be the place of supply, that is Noida. So the machine is being sold from Noida itself, and since there is no movement of goods, so the place of supply will be considered where these goods are sold, and that place is your place of supply, that is Noida. Now let's come to question number 6, part 1. Quick Deal Enterprises, Ahmednagar, Gujarat, opens a new branch office at Hisar, Haryana. It purchases a building for office from Ruhani Builders, Hisar, along with pre-installed office furniture and fixtures. Determine the place of supply of the pre-installed office furniture and fixtures. Please take your time to answer this question. Okay, so for this question again, there is no movement of goods. So in such case, what we are doing is, whatever is the location of the goods at the time of delivery to the recipient will be our place of supply. So see, Section 10(1)(c) of the IGST Act stipulates that if the supply does not involve movement of goods, the place of supply is the location of the goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. Since there is no movement of office furniture and fixtures in the given case, the place of supply of such goods is their location at the time of delivery to the recipient, that is Hisar, Haryana. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Question number 9. Asha Enterprises, supplier of sewing machines, is located in Kota, Rajasthan and registered for the purpose of GST in the said state. It receives an order from Deep Traders located in Jalandhar, Punjab and registered for the purpose of GST in the said state. The order is for the supply of 100 sewing machines with an instruction to ship the sewing machines to Jyoti Sons located in Patiala, Punjab and registered in the said state for the purpose of GST. Now, Jyoti Sons is a customer of Deep Traders. So, if you can recall the provisions, this is a case of bill to ship to model. Okay. So, here your place of supply will be involved. And now what the question is for the saying that the sewing machines are being shipped in a lorry by Asha Enterprises. Now briefly explain the place of supply, the nature of supply, whether interstate or intrastate, and whether CGST, SGST or IGST would be applicable in these cases. So for bill to ship to model, it's always advisable if you can just sketch out a rough diagram that will help you to understand the question in a better manner. Kindly take your time to solve this question. Okay, so this is build to ship to model wherein two supplies are involved. So the first one is between Asha Enterprises and Deep Traders, and the second supply is between Deep Traders and Jyoti Sons. So let us identify the place of supply for each of these. So, see, the supply between Asha Enterprises and Deep Traders is a bill to ship to supply where goods are delivered by the supplier Asha Enterprises to recipient Jyoti Sins on the direction of a third person, Deep Traders. Now, in such a supply, it is deemed that the third person, that is your Deep Traders, has received the goods and the place of such goods is the principal place of business of such person. So for these first supply, the place of supply between Asha Enterprises and Deep Traders, it will be the registered place of Deep Traders, that is Punjab Jalandhar. Now, since the location of the supplier and the place of supply are in two different states, the supply is an interstate supply in terms of section 7 leviable to IGST. Okay. So since these two are different states, we know that it is interstate supply and IGST will be applicable. Now talking about the other supply from Deep Traders to Jyoti Sons. So this situation involves another supply between Deep Traders and Jyoti Sons. In this case, since the supply involves movement of goods, place of supply will be the location of the goods at the time at which the movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient, that is Patiala, Punjab. And now here, since the location of supplier and the place of supply, they both are in the same state. So this will be your intrastate supply, and accordingly CGST and SGST are leviable on the same. Now let's move to question number 14. Okay. Pathan of Pune, Maharashtra enters into an agreement to sell goods to Sukumar Enterprises of Bareilly, UP. While the goods were being packed in Pune godown of Pathan Sukumar got an order from Sindhu Private Limited of Shimoga, Karnataka for the said goods. Sukumar Enterprises agreed to supply the said goods to Sindhu Private Limited and asked Pathan to deliver the goods to Sindhu Private Limited at Shimoga. You are required to determine the place of supply or supplies in the above situation. This is again a similar question. It is built to ship to model. Kindly take your time to understand this question and draft out its solution. Okay, so see, here also there is supply between this Pathanwara from Pune and Sukumar Enterprises in Bareilly. This is again your build to ship to model. Okay, so now in this case, as per this section 10(1), where the goods are delivered by the supplier to a recipient or any other person on the direction of a third person, whether acting as an agent or otherwise, before or during the movement of goods, either by way of transfer of documents of title of the goods or otherwise, it shall be deemed that the said third person has received the goods, and the place of supply of such goods shall be the principal place of business of such person. So, in this case, it is deemed that the Sukumar Enterprises has received the goods, and place of supply of such goods is the principal place of business of Sukumar Enterprises. So, for these supply between Pathanwara, Pune and Sukumar Enterprises, your place of supply will be Bareilly, UP, and we also have another supply which is between Sukumar Enterprises of Bareilly and Sindhu Private Limited of Shimoga. Now, the place of supply in this case will be as per your section 10(1)(a) because movement of goods is involved. So, whatever section 10(1)(a) says that if the supply involves movement of goods, whether by supplier or the recipient or by any other person, the place of supply of such goods shall be the location of the goods at the time at which the movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. So, the place of supply in second case is the location of the goods at the time when this movement of goods terminates, that is Shimoga, Karnataka. Now, let's go to this exemption chapters. We will study few exemption services. Okay. So, first one is your educational services. So, services provided by an educational institution by way of conduct of entrance exam against consideration. Okay. So, in case only entrance fees is taken, then those are your exempt services. Then, second one is amount paid to training providers under Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana. So, if you are providing any training services, okay, then that services will also come under your exempt category. Then, any services provided by educational institution to its students, faculty and staff. So, if you are an educational institution and you are providing services of education or any other services to students, faculty and staff, then in that case, we can further divide it into three parts. So, first part is up to standard 12. So, there are certain services which I shall tell you, and which of these will be applicable to them. The second part that we have taken is education for obtaining a qualification recognized by law. So, if you are providing any education services to students, faculty or staff for them to obtain a certification which is recognized by law, then those services will be exempt. Or if you are providing any approved vocational education, that is also specifically exempt under these sections. Now, for cases where services are provided to educational institution, so if any transportation of students, faculty or staff is being provided to the educational institution for standard up to 12th. So, see here it is exempted to 1. So, your 1 is this up to 12th standard. So, if you are providing any transportation services, okay, to the students, faculty or staff, then in that case that is exempt to the educational institution if it is provided for students up to class 12. Same provision applies for your catering services. So, if any catering services are provided to students, faculty or staff members for education up to class 12, then that is also exempted service. Similarly, if you are providing any security services, any housekeeping services to students, faculty or staff members of an educational institution, then these services will come under your exempt category services. Now, if you are providing any admission to students, staff or faculty members for studies up to class 12 or for any qualification which is recognized by law or for any vocational training purpose, then in that case also all these are exempt. Similarly, if you are conducting any examination for all these three categories, then also you can claim this exemption. And if you are giving any periodical online periodicals, this is then these exemption will only be applicable to category 2, that is if that is a part of your qualification which is recognized by law. For that, if you are giving any online periodicals, then in that case that will also fall under your exempt services. Then training in any recreational activities relating to arts and cultures, again this is an exempt service. Next we will check this page number 5, education. Okay. Next we will check healthcare services. Okay. So for healthcare services, we have divided them into two parts. So first one is healthcare services provided by a clinical establishment. So if you are a clinical establishment and you are providing healthcare services, or you are an authorized medical practitioner or paramedics including ambulance. So if you are an authorized medical practitioner, so if you are any doctor or if you are any paramedics, now paramedics will include your physiotherapy, dental, all those things. And also if you are providing any services including the service of ambulance, then all these services are exempted from GST. And also if you are providing any healthcare services in relation to animals or birds, then that is also exempted. Now, what is included in healthcare? So, any pre-treatment, treatment or post-treatment for illness, injury, including transportation in ambulance, but does not include cosmetic, plastic surgery and hair transplantation. So, any cosmetic surgeries or any surgeries which are not necessary for your function to improve, but you are only taking those surgery to improve the aesthetic appearance, those are not included in your healthcare services. But if the surgery is necessary for restoring your body parts, or if the surgery is helping you to regain your functional things, then in that case it will be treated as healthcare. So cosmetic plastic surgery other than for restoring body parts affected due to congenital defects, developmental abnormalities, injury or trauma. So if you are undergoing any cosmetic plastic surgery for any congenital defects or developmental abnormalities, injury or trauma, in that case that will be included in your health care and it will be an exempt service. The next we have clinical establishment. So what all things are included in your clinical establishment? It will include hospitals, nursing homes, clinic or any place where such healthcare services is provided. Then, who is your authorized medical practitioner? So, all doctors and registered with Indian Medical Council. Okay. So, they should be doctor and they should be registered with your Indian Medical Council. Then, for paramedics, even your nursing staff, lab technicians, physiotherapists, all these people would be included. Now, for renting of rooms to inpatients exceeding rupees 5,000 per day will be taxable other than ICU, NICU, etc. So any of the intensive care units, they are always exempted. Otherwise, then all your intensive care units, if you are renting a room in hospital as an inpatient for which your room rent is exceeding 5,000 rupees per day, in that case it will be taxable, otherwise it is exempt. And services by consulting doctors to hospital is also exempted. So if any consulting doctors are giving services in the hospitals, then that will also be exempted. And services provided by rehabilitation professionals are exempted. So there are certain rehabilitation centers wherein if any limbs of your body parts are missing or so, or otherwise if you are going through some trauma or so, then for such times rehabilitation is needed. So any services that this rehabilitation centers or rehabilitation professionals are providing, they are specifically exempted from GST. Next, we will see transport services. Okay. So, transportation of passengers is an exempt service. Now, we have four categories for the transportation. First one is your railways. So, if you are traveling in other than first class or any of the AC class, then that transportation will be exempted. If you are traveling by airways, then only economy class is exempted. Okay, and starting or ending at northeastern states or Bagdogra in West Bengal, consideration as viability gap funding for 3 years. Okay, and also for railways, this metro and monogram tramways are also included in that. Then if you are transported through waterways, by inland waterways or by coastal waters within India for other than tourism purpose, then it will be exempted. Remember, for tourism in waterways is not exempted. Then again, in case of roadways, if you are traveling by non-AC stage carrier, then that is exempted. By meter cab or auto, it is exempted. And non-AC contract carrier other than for hire or tourism. So if the transportation service is for tourism or hire purpose, or you are being transported in AC vehicles, then all those would be taxable, otherwise it is specifically exempt. And in case of transportation of goods, again specified goods in case of railways are exempted. Then airways, if it is outside India to India, then that is exempted. For waterways, again in inland waterways and in coastal waters for specified goods, it is exempted. And for roadways other than your GTA or courier agencies, it is exempted. And for GTA, we have following as exemptions. So specified goods are exempted in case of GTA, and if the recipient is a central government, state government, union territory or a local authority which is registered only to deduct tax under this section 51, that is they are only supposed to deduct TDS, and in that case if GTA services are being provided to these people, then it will be an exempt service. And in case if GTA service is provided to individual HUF artificial judicial person, all are unregistered and not having any factory, then in that case also they will be exempted. Now let us see what are the specified goods. So all your agricultural produce, your food grains, organic manure, then newspaper and magazine, defense or military equipment, relief materials for natural or man-made disasters, all this comes in your specific goods and they are specifically exempt. Okay. So now let us see certain questions for these. Okay. So see question number 1. Richmond is a play school located in Delhi. Richmond Kids has outsourced the catering services for supply of food and drink in the canteen of play school to Ashoka Caterers, Delhi for a consideration of 8 lakhs per annum. Examine whether supply of food and drink or catering services from Ashoka Caterers to Richmond Kids is exempt from GST. And we have second question. Balaji Hospital, a clinical establishment located in Tirupati, is specialized in cardiac treatment. The hospital has its own canteen healthy foods. The canteen serves the food and drinks to the inpatients as advised by the doctors or nutritionists of the hospital. Apart from this, other patients who are not admitted or attendants of visitors. Okay, so what they are saying is that we have this Balaji hospital, okay, and it has its own canteen healthy foods. Now what happens is All the inpatients are provided the food as per the doctors or nutritionists advices from this canteen, and for other patients who are not admitted or who are attending or who are visiting the inpatients, from them we also have take food and drink from the canteen. So we are supposed to examine which supply of food and drinking catering services, that is the things provided to your inpatients and to our other patients, is exempt from GST or not. Take your time and try to answer this question. Please solve it in your books. Do it by writing. That will help you to know and understand how answers are being presented in your exams. Okay, so let's go through the answer. Now, services provided to an educational institution providing services by way of preschool education and education up to higher secondary school or equivalent, that is up to your class 12, by way of catering is exempt from GST via exemption notification under GST. So in this case, the services provided by Ashoka caterers to Richmond kids are exempt from GST. Now, for second case, we have healthcare services. So, in case of healthcare services, if the food is being given to the inpatients, then that is exempt from GST. But if you are providing the food supplies to patients who are not admitted or to their attendants or visitors, then that is taxable. See, services by way of healthcare services provided by a clinical establishment and authorized medical practitioner or paramedics are exempt from GST via exemption notification under GST. In this regard, CBIC has clarified that food supplied by the hospital canteen to the inpatients as advised by the doctor or nutritionist is a part of composite supply of healthcare service and is not separately taxable. Okay, so that is a part of your composite supply and it is exempt. But other supplies of food by a hospital to patients not admitted or their attendants or visitors are taxable. In the view of same, GST is exempt on food supplied by healthy foods to inpatients as advised by doctors or nutritionists, while other supplies of food to its patients who are not admitted or their attendants or visitors of the inpatients is taxable. Okay, so we shall continue tomorrow with another topic. If you have any doubts or if you are not understanding any provisions or anything, you can reach out to us in the WhatsApp groups. The links for the same is provided in the description. Also, if you would like to have access to these materials, then again you can reach out to us. Okay. You will find all the details in the description. See you again tomorrow. Happy studies.